Hi, this is MXUX. This is questions and answers taken from comments on my ride videos. Let's get started. Question 1. What would it take to sell the Endurance as a consumer versus fleet model? I have down here remove the electric governor. All they have to do is there's an electronic governor. I have electronic governor limiting the speed of the fleet model of the Endurance to 80 miles an hour for insurance purposes. They take that off, and it is a consumer vehicle. Endurance has run on a closed track at 130 miles an hour. I have that from confirmed sources. So, just removing the speed governor would make it a full-fledged consumer vehicle after homologation, so forth. Question number 2. What is the next product for Lordstown Motors Company? When Steve Burns was in charge, he had a deal going with Leotis of Camping World. Anyway, the next product they were planning was a high-top van. The initial plan for Lordstown Motors, the second product was going to be a SUV. This was changed to a high-top van. This could be a delivery van. It could be a RV. Could be a lot of things. It would use the existing Endurance skateboard, no change of the frame or anything. What they have are pre-production dies made for this high-top van for the body panels. They're soft dies they use to test the fit and everything. These have to be reproduced as hard production dies. They stopped the reproduction or the making of the hard dies to conserve capex, but that was on the horizon for Lordstown Motors, and that's probably something they will do as soon as they get capex. And again, this would be a high top delivery van / RV / whatever, based on the Endurance skateboard. So that's the next product, ready to go, just about. Hard dies, boom, boom, boom. Could be produced, by the way, on the same assembly line as the Endurance by Foxconn. Next question. Is there a redesign of the Endurance pending? You know, there's some rumors about a redesign. There is no formal announcement from the company about a redesign of the Endurance. I had mentioned in one of my videos, you know, one of the things they could easily do is add V2G, vehicle to grid capabilities to the fleet model, perhaps. But no changes to the Endurance itself has been announced. The redesign is the website. Okay, and I suspect the redesign is going to pit the Endurance against the F-150 and the Silverado and show that it is a better vehicle. The price of the Endurance remains at $55K. So is there a redesign of the Endurance pending? None announced. Next question. What is delaying the launch of the Endurance fleet model? Well, we had the upcoming Foxconn deal, and that put everything in stasis until there was, some groundwork there. Of course, they recently announced the startup production of pre-production vehicles with Foxconn. So it's actually moving forward rather quickly. But what is delaying the launch of the Endurance fleet model? Homologation, which is the meeting of these many standards across many countries and many states, making sure that the truck meets all the certain requirements, and they have to submit documents identifying each part and so forth, and each part number, and each part has to be certified. That's homologation. That's one issue. They're working on that. They had mentioned chip and part shortages, which are part of the entire automobile industry right now. So, same as everybody else. The Foxconn deal supposed to be finalized before production starts. The Foxconn deal involves Lordstown Motors handing off production to Foxconn, agreeing on they're going to charge Lordstown Motors per unit so much to build the truck. They're also there's been terms mentioned that would split up the sale of the Endurance, with LMC having North America and Foxconn being able to sell it in the rest of the world, and them paying a royalty to Lordstown Motors for those sales. They're negotiating this deal. The start of pre-production vehicles with the cooperation of Foxconn indicates this is going well. No way of knowing for sure. The other thing that could be delaying the launch of the Endurance fleet model is OPEX, cash. They have to have cash to start this wheel turning, and I think as soon as they get into production, uh, I do believe, and it has been stated in the past by Schmidt and other members of Lordstown's executive group there, that they had the first 2 years of um, vehicle production sold. What does that mean? You can look at my video. If I can remember, I'll put a link in here to the estimation of the stock price having to do with that production number. Anyway, let's move on. That is what's delaying the Endurance right now. Let's move on to the next question. What could sink the Foxconn deal? Okay. Number one, a cephas rebuke. A cephas is a multi-departmental U.S. government stamp of approval on having a foreign corporation buy a U.S. manufacturing facility, like a major facility, although it may be for minor facilities, I'm not sure. This involves, strategic concerns, military contracts. All of these things are taken into consideration, and cephas is like a committee, and it has to give it the stamp of approval and say, yes, this is good for America. If it is rebuked by cephas, which in my opinion, I do not think is going to happen, that could sink the Foxconn deal. Failure to make a manufacturing design agreement with, and distribution, I should have there as well, with Foxconn, between Foxconn and Lordstown, could also sink the deal. Right now they're doing pre-production models together. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. It looks like they're going to have the agreement. And I have down here LMC cash burnout. LMC could just flat run out of money and not be able to come up with the money to stamp all the parts and buy all the component. Or I'm sorry, in this case, actually Foxconn is going to be covering those expenses and reimbursing LMC for any of those expenses they've done in the past when the agreement goes into effect. So LMC is going to have cash to do the homologation registration, I believe, and also to pay Foxconn the royalty or the cost that they're going to charge them to build each Endurance. So typical Lordstown Motors, cash, every startup, an issue. Next question. When is startup production? The Foxconn CEO has just announced in the Taiwan press that the second half of 2022, Foxconn will be building the electric pickup trucks at Lordstown. And that would put the date between July and December of 2022 as the start of production. There was another, which I did a video on, a obscure video that was published by the Taiwanese business community, business press there, and they indicated that the start of production date was April 2022. there's some confusion whether this was the original date and they just got the date wrong, or, were they really, because it was April, or were they saying something that nobody else knows? We don't know. That's a rumor. I think July to December is what the CEO of Foxconn has said. And again, whisper date, April. Obviously, the sooner they can get into production, the better. I do believe that there isn't going to be a Silverado or a Cybertruck till 2025. I think the Ford, if they even make any fleet models, I don't think they're going to have any production till 2024. I think that Lordstown Motors, in my opinion, has a free lane if they can get into production this year at all. Next question. What is critical for hodlers of ride stock? The upcoming earnings call, March 15th to 21st, is the range, and you have here that the market cap is only 567 million, beta 0.42, PE, no earnings, and the EPS is a negative 2.244. So this is as of today, the recording date of this video. So that's a pretty good EPS. It represents a good share price, provided Lordstown Motors can get into production. In my opinion, as I've said, and you can see my Skinny Bull video on Lordstown, I do believe there's a 51% chance of Lordstown Motors making production and sales of the vehicle. However, and just let me close this video out by saying, Lordstown Motors is a high-risk investment, and it is meant for a risk-on environment, which we seem to be entering in the market right now. It could result in dramatic movements in either direction. So, as I say, don't bet grandma's rent money on it. Okay, anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. Thanks a lot for watching.